Hey Taurus, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for September 11th, 2024. This is for Taurus. Last shuffle coming out for Taurus. So Taurus, what we have here is decrease and we have fragmented energy. So it tells me here that you're in a space right now where things are finally slowing down and you may not know what to do with yourself. You're used to things being heavy, working hard, doing all this stuff. It's so funny to me that it's saying that. Um, so funny. They're saying, yeah, you're not having to run around so much. Um, you're not having to come in full force on so many things. Uh-oh, something fell here. Okay, I see Nine of Wands. There's something about you not knowing what to do with yourself as things slow down. Spirit is slowing things down for you, especially if you felt like you were really, really busy and then all of a sudden it's not. Um, this would tell me that it's time for you to focus on more magical things, more spiritual things, to meditate perhaps, which is kind of um, can be difficult for a Knight of Wands. It looks like. Um, mm, mm, mm. it just looks like, okay. So you have Justice and Nine of Wands. So it tells me here that you may feel like you're in a lot of chaos here. In a sense, you're expecting chaos too. It almost looks like you expect the worst. You're gearing up for the worst. You may feel like this is the calm before the storm, right? And this is due to your experience, your wisdom, your knowledge of life in general, the way your life has been going. You may have been saying, it's too quiet, it's too calm. Whenever there's a delay, this is a problem. Whenever I'm in this space, it's a problem. And so, Justice and Nine of Wands would tell me that it seems like you're close to finishing something, so things are slowing down. Okay, so if you were working on a project or anything like that, things are slowing down because you're close to the finish line. You know how you know how like pumping gas, it's like full speed ahead, it's pouring in, right? And you're just like, okay. And then when it's about like maybe 50 cents left, it slows down to a crawl, and you're like, come on, you're standing there for so long for the last penny to go in. Um, I'll be looking forward to the day when I can stare off into the distance pumping gas. I really do, because I can't do that. I have to stare at it like, okay, is it 10:05? Okay, let me make sure. Um, it's funny. So anyhow, you have decrease here: Knight of Wands, Strength, Queen of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Um, this tells me that there's it's slowing down of energy, slowing down of having to put forth uh, so much effort forward into things, or to really think hard about everything and be very vigilant of things, waiting for your turn, waiting for things to change. That's decreasing because of just, it seems like a slowdown of something. If you were going through some sort of revolution in your life, if you were finding yourself burning the candle at both ends, exhausted, feeling like, gosh, I'm killing it, I'm doing everything, um, yeah, I keep seeing someone who's like, when it slows down like this, something's coming. you and I don't see that, though. The spirit saying that I don't see that. You're not having to do so much to turn the wheel, right? You've got the mechanisms behind the wheel nice and oiled, so now it can turn effortlessly. You were probably pushing and pushing on some rusty machinery. That's kind of the imagery that they're giving me, is that things are going to move effortlessly for you. Fragmented energy is the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. This talks a lot about how um, you may feel like there's so many ways something can go down, and you may be focusing on all the ways that things could go wrong. That may be what fragments you. You've got to say, you've got all these wonderful things in front of you. You can only imagine all the things that are delaying it and why and what that means. Instead of maybe looking at it saying, I still have all these options, you're looking at, well, what could ruin those options? What could sabotage them, right? what could possibly happen, and how do I need to prepare myself just in case none of this stuff works, right? And yeah, that's going to have you all over the place. It's not going to help you to stay focused on your options or how to capitalize on them, because they're all really good options. Every single one. Like if you have a bunch of things like I could do that, I could run that business, or I could start that job, or I can do this and that. All of these options are actually viable. Like they're showing success in all of those options. But if you focus on, well, if I do, say you're like, oh, I want to rent my house out. Well, what if I get a tenant that is a, a class A hoarder, you know, then you're cutting yourself out. Now you're thinking of all these other contingency plans. Well, if that happens, I have to come in and come visit every so and so time. I have to install cameras to see if they're bringing in a whole bunch of stuff, from the the street, or like the doorbell or something. Um, you would you would lose focus on what you could actually capitalize on, focusing on what could go wrong. Because if you think about certain situations, anything could go wrong. You could think of a billion things that could go wrong, and you could think of one thing that goes right. Focus on the one thing, right? That's easier. It's easier, actually, because, yeah, behind a mask is Page of Wands and the Four of Cups. And this is talking about, I think underneath it all, you might be exhausted or trying really hard. It's really important here that you stay focused. Okay, it's really important that you stay focused. It's paramount that you stay enthusiastic about what's going down. Optimism goes without saying, but fighting against the inclination to think that there must be a balance in something. When there's a good, there's got to be a bad. When there's bad, there's got to be a good. It works one way, right? If it's bad, then there's got to be something good in that bad, right? So we all want to focus on that part. But if it's good, you know, sometimes things don't balance out that way. Sometimes it's not light against dark. You know what I mean? It's like light against brighter light. Because there's different truths within the light. Um, Everything, because truthfully, truth be told, um, as Martin Luther King said, right? He said, we all think love versus hate, and he's like, the opposite of love is not hate; it's indifference, right? It's truly indifference. Hate at least has some kind of fire and passion in that mess. There's something there that says I still want to do. Love is inspiring, and so is hate, but indifference is a lack of inspiration. And they're saying behind a mask that you may be entertaining, feeling lackluster, and this could kill. It could kill whatever it is you're trying to do. Very important that you stay inspired. Find things to inspire you to keep moving. Okay. Your intention, though, is definitely, they don't want you to hide that you're starting to zone out. You're starting to disassociate. It might be very important to explain, like, I'm having a hard time wanting to stay on this path. I really am. It might be important to explain that, right? Fear is Ace of Pentacles and Ten of Swords. The fear is fear. It almost looks like fear of the unknown. There's a fear of starting something new because it might not work out. I think before maybe is showing I tried something new before and it didn't work out. I did this new thing. I started this new job or this new business, and something similar happened before and it did not work out. I think that the fear is just it's unfounded. It's a fear that something is not going to can't be fixed, or something can't be rebuilt, something can't um, doesn't have potential. Your energy cannot be rooted in fear. You can't allow new fears to come in and claw their way into your heart. You got to believe in magic, right? How did Peter Pan fly, right? Tinkerbell said you have to have happy thoughts, right? And it's the only way you can fly. And that's kind of where they're coming from with this. You can't allow yourself to focus on the negative or what can't happen. You have to focus on what can happen, because that list is shorter, first of all, right? Because honestly, you get in the car, you could be like, well, what can happen is I can reach my destination, or I could get lost. Either way. But if you think about the bad things, it's like I could get lost, and then I could, the car could run out of gas, my car could break down, I could get hit by a car, I could, be hit, I could get kidnapped, I could da 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 da. You could think of so many things. What if there's a crater in the ground, or what if the bridge collapses? It's like you could think of a 500,000. You know what I mean? But the hey, the best case scenario is you made it there. You made it to your destination, or detour to the next best thing. And so Spirit wants you to focus on that. Know that everything is still possible, and know that when things start to slow down, it's not because that's the calm before the storm. That's not what this is. It is more so a vibe of saying we're pumping gas and you're almost full, so it's slowing down a little bit. You could be dealing with a Libra, a Leo, a Sagittarius, main signs. Woo. We also could be dealing with a Gemini or an Aquarius or Aries. So you could be an Aries Taurus cusp or a Taurus Gemini cusp. And if you're not dealing with those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.